Okay, okay. Then I would like to thanks to Enrique Newton for his talk. And then we start a general discussion about this very nice workshop organized by Anna and Olga. And then I invite all the audience to make questions to the speakers, and also to make to give you his or her opinion about the subject of logic and fictional. Then I open now the session for a general discussion. Of course, you can ask to the speakers, Enrique, Newton, and also the other speakers of the conference. We are not hearing you.
Yes.
Anna.
Can you hear
now it's okay.
Yeah. Yes, okay. Все работает? Okay. Marcelo, nice to see you.
Hi, Elena. Nice to see you.
In our conference, in our joint conference. In fact, I'm not sure that my comment is rather general. It's mostly it is to Newton paper, and thanks a lot for your very interesting comment on compositionality principle. But my question concerns the second Frege principle, context principle, the principle of context. I'm not sure that it's possible to discuss the difference between fictional and real terms in isolation from the context. What do you think about it? Is it possible to separate two domains indifferent of the context of the sentence? So that's my question to Newton mostly. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. That's a very interesting question. The honest answer is I don't know. I will try to answer. Well, it's a conflict. No, I think those principles have conflict. No? Because the first one says, well, the value of the sentence is a composition of the value of the part of the sentence. And the second says, well, look at the sentence and then the part of the sentence. So it's a difficult problem in general. Okay, so for fiction, it's more difficult. But I think that we can deal in this with that using this point of view, like how we know that the term is fiction or not in the context. I mean, in the context of the sentence, like if the example of Frege, Odysseus is landed on Ithaca, it's a sentence of fictional text. So that is, I mean, is the context, you know, the context of the terms of the sentence and the context of the sentence in a bigger scenario. So we know that we're dealing with fictional terms because that's the context. And so I don't know if I answered, and I don't know if Frege would answer either. So it's a difficult question to Frege in any way. So for fiction, it's difficult to.
Yeah, okay. Thanks a lot. It seems to me that it's difficult to separate two principles of Frege. Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, thank you.
Another questions? The audience, from the Zoom audience. Well, in the meantime, I would like to make some comments about the Enrique and Newton's presentations. In particular, I would like to talk about the future research we are thinking about in this work in progress presented by Newton. We believe that the idea of considering non-deterministic semantics can be very useful, in particular by taking the Ivlev, the innovative Ivlev ideas on non-deterministic semantics for modal logics, which produce, in particular, one interesting point of Ivlev's approach to modal logic is not only to give a different approach to non-normal modal logics, but the interesting point is that the modal operators, box and diamond, are also hyperintensional. This is a very interesting feature, that the box, contrary to what happens with the normal and the standard non-normal approach to modal logics, the modal operators do not preserve necessarily logical equivalence. And this is what happens here with the predicates. The logic we are presenting in the Ivlev-like style in the Newton presentation, the logic is automatically non-self-extensional, hyperintensional. And we believe that this is an interesting feature because it enriches the framework, let's say. On the other hand, the idea of extending the approach with Glatt gaps, of course, on the fictional part, because we want to keep the things as simple as possible, then the non-fictional part is, we assume that is classical logic. But it seems obvious that when you are speaking about fictional characters, you have contradictions. It's very simple. Take a concrete fictional character. I don't know, the cartoon character Woody Woodpecker, for instance. When it was presented for the first time, it has teeth, very funny teeth. But in the 1941, I think. But after that, in the 60s, for instance, Woody Woodpecker has no teeth at all. Then it has teeth and he has not, depending on then fictional characters can be contradictory, or then they have a property and they do not have for instance, things about, for instance, the Joker, the character in the Batman universe. There are a lot of theories about the origins of Joker, and then it's contradictory character, we could say. Then the idea of using a paraconsistent and paracomplete logic for speaking about fictional characters, it seems to be an obvious choice. And it was mentioned that at some point, the Newton, I think, he mentioned that the non-deterministic approach to fictional logic that we are he shows after Enrique's presentation, which is deterministic. Newton mentioned it. I think it was very interesting comment. He said that this kind of fusion between L1 and L2. And it was a very interesting idea because we can think about this kind of fictional logics as from the point of view of combination of logics. And I believe, I convinced that it is possible to present this logic as a kind of fusion of fibrin of whatever between these two logics, or maybe you can speak about the real logic and the fictional logic, and you are mixing together the logics in order to speak about mix sentence with real objects and fictional objects. Then this is another interesting perspective of future research, I think, from the point of view of combining logics. And then, well, this were my comments about the ideas of Newton and Enrique, which started with this joint project. Okay, I don't know if somebody else have some comments or questions for the speakers. Remember that you can also make comments in general, not only about these two last presentation, but about all the presentations during the workshop.
Marcelo, if I may, I have a quick follow-up
Yes.
to your comments. Just to emphasize the idea that I think that what was most intriguing for us was thinking about how these kind of discourses, which could be isolated from each other, uh, are actually used together. So we think that we say things like, "Oh, my father is stronger than Superman," or David Tosh admires Sherlock Holmes. And you see these, what is most puzzling is that in this second example, it's not the fictional character as some kind of artifact that is being admired. It's person. I mean, this fictional person, because a real person admires Sherlock Holmes because, according to the story, he has such and such properties. So we're particularly worried about this problem of mixed statements and how to have a logic that deals with both kinds of contexts. So we don't have two logics, which are completely separated. So, and we were inspired by the LFI's approach in this way, because the LFIs have this context switch. Right? You have in this context we can have contradictions, but as soon as we have an operator that prohibits contradiction, so these were the kind of motivations for coming up with this framework, which it's, as I said, it's kind of exploratory. There's lots to see if and also analyze the drawbacks as well. So yeah, so mixing logics is also a nice addition to this.
Thank you, Enrique. More comments?
Yeah, I have a comment about your comment, Marcela, on the topic of undetermined truth values and mixed logic of fiction and aesthetic modality. I found I see that the mixing of modality is very fruitful, very fruitful line of reasoning in concerning fictional context, because we have sentences like Sherlock Holmes might be a violinist, and we have intuitively two different interpretations. In one interpretation, we have the first alethic modality, maybe, and the second fictional context. And we could rewrite this sentence in this reading, like Conan Doyle could write novel about the violinist called Sherlock Holmes. And the second way of interpretation is that the first is fictional context and the second is allothetic modality, probability. And in this reading, we have a sentence: if Sherlock Holmes were real, it might be that he would become a violinist. And we have totally different picture in these two readings. And I think that every full semantics for fictional context should include these readings, both of them. Do you agree?
Yeah, definitively. Very nice comment. And I was thinking about your example. Then it's possible this give origin maybe to some kind of Barkan formulas, interaction between modalities and the existence predicate and on the shriek predicate operator and so on. Yes, definitively, it's a very interesting line of research in this subject. I was also thinking about the very interesting question of Eugenie. I don't know, sorry, I don't know the right pronunciation, but concerning when you speak about fiction, what fiction? There are a lot of fictions. Each book is a fiction, or each character is a noun universe. Then, of course, it's very interesting to think about the possibility of interacting the different universes of fiction. And maybe when you speak about the logic of fiction, you could be speaking about a specific fiction to be more restricted, or speak about fiction in general. In this case, of course, as I mentioned earlier, the contradictions will appear necessarily because the fictions are contradictory if you put all together. Thank you, Anna, for the comment. Are there more? I don't know if you want to add some comments. More questions from the audience, from the online audience.
Marcelo?
Yes, Newton, please.
Well, just 2 points. First, what Anna asked, it's a very difficult and that's why very interesting question. The point is how we will deal with the modal extension of those logics, because we have 2 scenarios. We can use standard models like cryptic models, or we can use evenly first order logic, model logic. So the behavior of Barkan formulas is completely different. We showed that, Marcelo. So the point, I think, is what we must with this combination of modality of model operator like MIPE, and this dual domain approach. I think that is the point. And the second point is, in fact, it's a question to us. When I listened just a minute, I think it's Kazov, if I'm right about the pronunciation, the problem of cross-fictional identity. I think we have the same problem. So when we are talking about fabulous, what we're talking about? We're talking about those person in the fiction, but they are. In fact, we're talking about real person, that they are just animals that represent those real persons people, and I don't know. It's a very difficult question. That's why it's a first framework that we presented here. And if we have so many problems, it's interesting because we have so much work to do. And thank you for those questions. And I think we must deal with that, and we must expand our first approach, first ideas to model logic, and for consistent logic, etc.
Thank you, Newton. We cannot hear. Not yet.
So we have one little question to Anna Moiseva from Olga Kozova from URFU. So you, Vitaly, and Elena discussed the shared beliefs and the example of the possibility of Peter to be not the particular Peter. I thought that maybe to model the shared beliefs, one may use the concept of commitment. For example, if you are a Christian, you commit yourself to the belief that Peter cannot be other than the particular Peter. Okay, it seems to me that we can also model the common ground this way. We just take it to be a body of shared commitments.
Thank you, Yuri, and thank you, Olga. And I for a long time, and I agree that some of our beliefs are strong because of our commitment to believe in some things. Maybe I concern this commitment more in the context, in personal context, rather than social context. But it doesn't matter. But when I speak about believable possibility, I don't mean the commitment to believe. I mean a belief per se. Some transformation of our imagination, of imaginary situations, is not forbidden for us to imagine. It is unintelligible. For example, I can imagine myself to be in the place of other, in shoes of other person, of some other person. For example, Yuri, for example, Elena, and so on. But I can't imagine myself in shoes of such an awful person as Adolf Hitler. I can't imagine that, but it is not my commitment. it is my belief about identity of myself. I can't. It is unbelievable for me that I am in shoes of Adolf Hitler. I can't. And in this way, I think about believability in our imaginable scenarios. When we transform our actual situation to some target one, we should apply only that transformation which is in agreement in our such and our root beliefs about identity of objects. For example, about identity of myself. Have I asked your question, Olga?
Okay, thank you very much. More questions or comments? We are not hearing you. Through the cell phone, I think it's better. Yes, yes, that's work.
Possession. Marcelo, do you agree?
Yes. I would like once again to thank to you and Olga for this very kind invitation. Was very important to us to be present here once again in contact with our Russian colleagues. It's a pleasure to continue with this joint collaboration between your laboratory and CLE. And we hope to continue this fruitful collaboration. It was
Thanks
very
a lot
nice.
for joining us and excuse us for all these technical difficulties.
It's natural.
You personally soon. It would be better.
Yes.
Don't worry, my university is worse.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Elena. It was very nice to hear you once again, and I hope to see you in person in the near future. Thank you very much, and to receive also Anna in Campinas. We hope to receive Anna and all the colleagues from your laboratory. It will be a pleasure to receive you.